Well, hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the Workbench. I'm Dan here, and we're going to be doing a little review of a couple new models that I've done. So it'll be an update video. I'm going to try to keep moving here, but I got a lot of projects to show. I got a lot of projects I'm going to be selling here on eBay pretty soon. Got some stuff I'm working on for other people, so lots of cool stuff for you guys to see. I've been very busy lately with customer projects, and I've been knocking out a bunch of models for myself as well. So the first couple of cars I wanted to show are some stuff here that I've been getting up and ready to sell here. These are some relatively newer Athearn models, except for this one here, which I'll go ahead and show. The first car here is going to be going up on eBay here pretty soon. It's the EP35 44 93. This car has basically been weathered and has the prototype graffiti added, as you can see. This is going to be going up on eBay here pretty soon. All I had to do with this is finish the basic weathering, clean it up a little bit. I did the aluminum pitting on the roof. As you can see, it's got the odd pitting effect. You see a lot of this on these Gunderson cars, so I modeled that on this one. This side is my favorite side. It has all the really nice prototype graffiti, as you can see. It's an older model. I've had it for a while. It's time for it to find a new owner. That's an Athearn Genesis 60-foot Gunderson car. That'll be going up on eBay here pretty soon, so you guys can keep an eye out for that. That's one of the Gunderson cars I'm doing. This next one is a newer CSX car. It's going to be going up as well. It's CSX T173572, and this is modeled brand new, pretty much a fresh repaint as of 2017, I believe. This got repainted, and it already has a little bit of graffiti. I painted the tack boards on the side to match prototype photos, added the reflective safety stripes. Just some very light weathering on the trucks here, nothing crazy, nothing special. They still got a lot of rust in them, but all the graffiti is hand done, as you can see. Very simple weathering here, nothing too crazy, but this is going to be a car, another one that's going to be going up for sale. Here's the other side, as you can see, with the prototype graffiti. Nothing too crazy there. It's a relatively fresh car, good for modern era. So that'll be going up here pretty soon. The next model that's going to be going up for sale here is a CEFX locomotive I've been working on. This is another one of the Atlas GP38s that I got. I got actually two of these. One I kept, and this one I decided to customize and get ready to sell here. So it's the CEFX 3803. This one is patched and weathered to match prototype photos of the real CEFX unit, which is an X-Corp unit. Rail America red, white, and green, red, white, and gray scheme. One of my personal favorite schemes. If I actually take the camera off the tripod here, we can get nice and close to this here. So again, prototype patching, prototype detailing, all kinds of prototype weathering. I just got to clean the windows on this, and then it'll be ready to sell. But as you can see, it's got all the prototype details. It's custom patched. It's got all the weathering effects, all the required details to match prototype photos, non-powered ditch lights. All kinds of nice work there. The trucks came out really good. The trucks are actually my favorite part on this model. They turned out really good. It's got some rust streaking, basic fuel tank details. I stripped all the lettering off the old, off the sides here, so it's just bare, and then I add some warning labels and some various things. It's got the custom reflective safety stripes on the sill. Nice grimy fuel tank, nice grimy trucks, darkened grills, all this nice weathering effect, as you can see. Still relatively clean. You know, the paint scheme, it's held up pretty well over time. According to prototype photos, there's a nice bit of soot and grime on the roof, and on the ends, again, some nice prototype detailing to match photos. All that's added. On this side here, again, some basic detailing, all the match prototype photos, darkened grills, custom reflective safety striping on the sills, warning labels, whole 9 yards on this guy, prototype weathering. It's got the waste retention tank there on the truck, or in between the truck and the fuel tank there. Looks really good. Again, some nice custom patching as well. So this is going to be a locomotive that's going to be going up for sale. So if you guys want to get a hold of this thing, I'll be listing it here pretty soon. If you follow me on my Facebook page, I'll be posting links to all these cars when they come up. I got another car that I'm going to be selling here pretty soon. It's going to be a TTX box car, but I still got to finish it up. But for now, that's what I'm going to have for sale for now, so you guys can keep an eye out for these in the near future. These are going to be some custom models you guys can get a hold of down the road if you want to. Okay, so a couple of customer projects I'm working on right now. I actually got quite a few, but these are the first couple I finished up. The first car I have is a Wheels of Time scale flat car, HO scale flat car. It's an older cotton belt car, as you can see. It's weathered to match prototype photos. So I added all of the nice fading on the deck, tons of rust pitting and scratches and dents on the sides. You can see all the nice rust streaks I've custom painted. I faded down the logo and did some streaking off the logo. Nothing too crazy on this. It's just modeled to be very grimy, old, and very dusty. As you can see, it's got a lot of dust on it. Deck's really nicely weathered up. This is going to be basically late 90s, early 2000s era maintenance away flat car. This is how I model it. Again, just referring to all the prototype photos. Look at the other side here real quick. It's pretty much a carbon copy of the opposite side. It's all done with careful prototype photos though. It's a really nice looking car, very nicely detailed. It's got all the really nice details on it. This one was fun to weather up. I don't do too many flat cars, but this one was a real fun one. And again, it's very nicely detailed, so being able to work on really nicely detailed cars like this is always a lot more fun because you can do so much to them to make them look realistic. But there's a basic cotton belt flat car I did for a customer. That's going to be getting packed up and shipped out here pretty soon. That looks really good. That came out actually really good. The other car is a little bit more complex. It's also going up to this guy. This is a pre-2005, I want to say early 2000s. I think 2001 is the actual date on this boxcar, but it's a relatively rusty Southern Pacific PCNF car. This is an exact rail boxcar. It is completely custom weathered. I put all the rust tone weathering on the sides, really faded it down, grimed it up, put all the rust streaking, pitting, scratches on the doors, everything. All done with prototype photos. Really beat the hell out of the Southern Pacific lettering, especially on this side. It's got the custom patching, as you can see. Again, I'll take the camera off the tripod so we can get in real close real fast here. It's got all the custom prototype graffiti, including a nice Ichabod tag there, which is done for prototype photos. Again, very dusty. It's got a lot of grime from desert use, as you can see. All custom done graffiti based on careful prototype photos. It's got the custom patching. The trucks and everything came out really good on this. You can see they're nice and grimy and dusty. Look at that. It's pretty nice. On the roof, classic example of how these cars decay. The roofs always pit really bad, and I've modeled that here with basic acrylic and oil work, modeling some of the rust pitting and how it's starting to kind of fan out, streak down the side a little bit. But the effect came out pretty good. On the ends, again, we got the custom patching, which is an odd font. I modeled that off of prototype photos again. It's got the kick-up spray and all the nice work on the couplers, all that good stuff. On this side, again, some prototype graffiti here, prototype patching, prototype weathering, all the nice oxide fading, and this is done in progressive layers with the airbrush, and then the rest is finished off with oil washes. So this was a very labor-intensive process building up this exact color, getting the right tone and everything. It took a lot of washes and a lot of airbrushing to get it right, but it came out really good. I put the graffiti on at a certain point in the wash effect, and then I layered a couple more washes over the graffiti to really weather it up, and also over some of the newer tags like the patching and everything like that as well. But it all came out really good. It's patched out. It's got some of the new car data already stenciled on there, again based on prototype photos, but there's the custom graffiti work there. So this is another car that I've just finished up, and we'll be going back to this man who got the flat car done as well. So it's a nice early 2000s boxcar, so there you go. Okay, so the next couple box cars I'm going to show are cars that I've been working on for myself. The first couple I'm going to show are some SSW prototypes that I've modeled up here. The first one here is an Athearn Roundhouse upgraded box here. This is from their latest run of these 50-foot high cube box cars. The models are good out of the box, however they do need some detailing to make them look a little bit better. So in this particular case, I added the Plano uncoupling levers, the extended KD long shank couplers, and I added high-tech air hoses and photo-etched walkway platforms and a KD brake wheel to this. It has some basic underbody piping as well. As you can see, I added the basic brake rigging and everything else. There's a quick look at the underbody detailing, or the end detailing there. As you can see, I'll get a better view of that here in a second, but as you can see, I've done a lot of work to this car. It's heavily faded down. It's got custom patching, custom graffiti based on prototype photos. You can see all the patching effects. It's got the old safety stripes bleeding through underneath, and then it's got the new safety stripes there. It's got all the fine tags, all the fine patching and rust work. This car probably took me about 23 hours or so to complete. There's a lot of work in this one, as you can see, from fading it, adding the rust spots and gouges. The rust streaks and everything came out especially good on this car. The beat up Golden West logo and everything looks really good. Door's nice and beat up, looks also very good. It's got the custom SSW patching, some really nice chalk and powder work on the trucks there, my usual mixture of powders there for the trucks. As you can see, all the old graffiti started to fade out a little bit, tons of rust pitting. The roof on the car out of the box is white. The prototypes had the blue painted roof, so I had to paint the roof on this car. Fortunately, the blue on this was easy to match. All I had to do was mix a custom color, spray it on, and then I faded it with the rest of the car, and it blended right in, so it looks like it was never white in the first place, which is nice. As you can see, we got the end kick-up spray, my typical thing I like to do with the splatter. And I got tons of rust pitting and everything else. Custom patching on the ends there. And again, there's all that nice end detailing with the air hoses, coupler, lift bars, and those really nice extended chain Kadee couplers. It's a really nice touch on this car. Looking at this side, as you can see, we got all kinds of nice details. Bit of a different style of patching on this side as well. This is pretty cool. Cool feature. The patching is different on both sides. Lots of rust pitting, lots of streaking and decay on the paint. As you can see, it's starting to really deteriorate. Old graffiti, new graffiti, patched over graffiti, and then graffiti that's been painted over the patches. It's all really cool. As you can see, nice rust on the door, safety striping's added. I got some custom stickers there for the instructions on unloading, which is really cool. Thought that was a nice touch. And then again, there's some of that door damage on the sides, all the pitting, real deep pitting on this side here. As you can see, it came out really good. Custom graffiti, all that good stuff. It looks really good. So that's a really nice model that I just completed. I posted pictures of this all over the place on a couple Facebook groups, but this is the first time I've shown the video of this car. So here you go, guys. It came out really good. I'm really happy with it. So there's the SSW 24271. We'll go ahead and move that out of the way. This next car I've shown before, but I've recently upgraded this. This is an older Athearn 60-foot high cube box for Golden West Services. It's SSW 62644. The weathering I did originally was relatively good for the time, but I went ahead and basically re-updated all this. I added the new patching, finished the graffiti, touched up the weathering on the sides, redid the washes, added all of the heavy decay and streaking because I found some more recent photos of this car, and the rust streaking is very, it's really starting to take over the sides here. There's all kinds of crazy rust streaking from the door tracks, out of the door scratches, a lot of the pitting. Fresh patches, as you can see again. Looking at the doors, you can see they're starting to really deteriorate as well. There's where the patch used to be. It's got some graffiti over it, safety striping. There's all kinds of rust streaking on the under rail there as well. And again on this side, all kinds of rust pitting and scratches and gouges. Looks really good. There's the brand new patching that I did to match the prototype photos, because the patching out of the box was actually inaccurate, so I had to fix that. So that's another thing I did. And again, all the nice prototype graffiti done with various techniques, from hand painting, drawing. I use a lot of the acrylic paints, markers, and paint pens, gel pens too, to do a lot of this graffiti. On the roof, I finished the roof. It's got the heavy grime washes and then the pitting that's starting to take over a little bit, starting to rust. You can see. On this side, again, all prototype graffiti and pitting. The pitting is especially bad on this side. As you can see, it's really bad. There's the brand new patching there and all the updated graffiti that I've painted on and heavily weathered as well. There's the doors, and then this little bit of graffiti here. This was a bit of a pain to paint that. That was a little bit more complex, but again, there's all that door cancer, as I like to call it. All looks really good. Fresh tags, brand new green patching there, and brand new data. And then my typical setup for weathering on the trucks. And then finish the kick up on the ends with a little bit of work there. Finish the pitting and scratches, and patching and everything else. Added the safety striping to the ends as well. And the air hoses. That was the other thing I added to this car. Everything else, complete weathering on the underbody as well. That's all finished. So there's an updated box car that I've had for a long time now. Definitely deserved to be redone. I know Athearn redid this car recently, but I wanted to reuse the model that I had, since I already had most of the groundwork already done from years ago. So there it is. That car is now completed and it's ready to go back into service.